After the amazing start at the private game reserve, it was time to go on.
Right, ready for the next work, Doctor. Leaving the F-Company. An hour and a half to best get to the rooms with the main gate, check in at the main gate, and then it's about another 3/4 of an hour to get to our campsite. I move the forward. No, we don't get quiet and safety down by the good house. Good. Yeah. Okay. It's hot.
At the Mabua gate, we checked in, had Wi-Fi for the first time in days, and we were able to send some pictures home. We also dealt with the car issue. The transmission oil temperature warning light came on, but we were pulling the trailer through heavy sand. I mean, it's no surprise with temperatures reaching 45 degrees and the sand being even hotter. The next repair shop is about a 2-hour drive south in Chabong. For the time being, we drove to our campsite at Mpaya Pan. On the way, we drove the longer way around Pan, stopped at campsite number 2 to refill our water tank in the trailer, and chatted with the campers there. After setting up the trailer, we went down to the waterhole. On the way there, we got stopped by another car and spotted a lion sleeping on one of the paths. We were told that he was sleeping there all day, and as he didn't appear to be getting up soon, we stayed at the waterhole for a bit and enjoyed a jackal drinking before we went up to the lion to wait for him to get up.
Murphy's Law.
When he decided to finally get up, we overtook him on his way to the waterhole to have him walk towards us and got some lovely footage. After his drink, he roared and sent us off towards our camp for the night. Back at the camp, I was on dinner duty and cooked some pasta bolognese when Roger called me over as he spotted a huge hyena.
A meter from my feet. Where it's gone now. But they're hangers around us, if you know what I mean.
We tried to find it, but gave up rather quickly and went back to preparing dinner.
Cooking dinner. Roger searching for the brown hyena.
While we were eating at the table, a curious jackal came rather close to the table as he probably smelled our dinner. After eating, we spotted another hyena at the shower and drove closer with the car, watching it for a bit before it took off into the darkness. As it was pretty busy at the shower runoff, we decided to sit down on the A-frame and watch out for more animals to come over.
Good morning from Mpaya. It is 5 o'clock. Daybreak just happening. We saw a leopard twice last night, not so a brown hyena, and then while we were sleeping, there was definitely another leopard, the same one, in our camp. And we can hear a lion roar at the waterhole, so we're just now getting ready to get out and go on our morning drive.
After a brutally hot night, we went back down to the waterhole to find the lion from the night before. The Mpaya Pan has a man-made waterhole that provides the only water source for at least 20 kilometers in every direction. And every morning, birds come for a drink in a specific order that they are not changing. There was an abundance of vultures drinking and sunbathing at the waterhole. Despite all the traffic, we decided to do a drive around the pan and then make some breakfast. The rest of the day was relatively quiet and we got to enjoy some lovely birds, a bit of rest, and organize some more things around the trailer. In the evening, during dinner, we decided to sit in the A-frame again and watch the water run off at the shower. It was relatively quiet when out of the dark something stepped into the small light and had a little sip. we went to the car to get closer and observed another beautiful but very careful leopard. Now, for the next part, I have to explain the camp setup first for you to fully grasp the encounter. The campsite in Mpaya 1 has a shower, a long drop and an A-frame. Shower and long drop are right next to each other, and then the A-frame is roughly 30 meters from them. We set up the trailer next to the A-frame under a tree, around 8 meters from the A-frame and protected by a big bush at the back. So, when we came back from our morning drive and I started preparing breakfast, I fried some bacon and eggs, cooked some baked beans and toasted a bit of bread. Just as I was finishing up and getting ready to serve, Roger shouted over to turn off the stove, stash everything safely and up high, and then get into the car. Of course I obliged without questioning it, and off we went. Just as we pulled up to the shower, I saw the reason for the postponed breakfast. 5 lions were drinking water right in our camp. We admired the animals for a bit in our camp before they made themselves comfortable in our A-frame. So what are we gonna do then? We were pretty much caged in the car, unable to get into the trailer and to get our breakfast. When the lions went back to the shower for another sip, we took the chance to lion-proof the trailer, grabbed some water and snacks for the car, and then went back to watching them for a bit. This was the last day in this campsite for us, which meant we have to move camps tonight to the reserve camp at Mpaya. It is not far, but with lions in the camp, we are not able to pack up the trailer and move. We were hoping for the next campers to be understanding of the situation and then move as soon as the lions left. In the meantime, we drove to the gate to organize a repair in the next city of Chabong for the day after tomorrow and arrange an additional light at the reserve camp. Back in the camp, I took a little nap, and when I woke up from it, a lion was sitting right outside the entrance of the trailer. I mean, literally right outside. Roger was speaking with the next campers that arrived, and they were perfectly fine with us staying until the lions left the camp. Sometime in the late afternoon, the lions moved on towards the waterhole, and we were able to intercept them for another great photo opportunity, and also to pack up the trailer and move over to the next campsite. It was one of the most exciting things I experienced so far. Being so close to these huge animals, hearing the grunts and snorts and the power. Seeing those fearless eyes makes you feel pretty vulnerable and very excited. This trip just keeps on giving, and I'm very, very grateful for it. After a rather quiet night, we spent the morning at the waterhole watching all the birds coming and going. Out in the open of the pan there were 2 male lions that we could ever so slightly spot. They wandered off towards Lefika, a reserve camp between Mpaya 1 and 2, and we managed to have them walk towards us through this high grass and on the path. One of the lions passed the car so close, I could have easily touched him. Back at our old camp, the new campers also got visited by the lions that we had in camp the day before. The lions went on to campsite number 2 and paid a visit there. The abundance of predators on this trip so far is just plain amazing. We spent our last evening with a lovely sundowner near the waterhole and a colorful and peaceful sunset with another lion laying in the pan. An amazing way to spend the last night at Mpaya Pan. The last morning, we packed up the trailer and drove down to the waterhole with it, enjoying the daily morning ritual of the birds, and spotted a few more animals around it. Then, unfortunately, it was time for us to head to the gate. After a quick check-in with the guards, we were allowed to leave the trailer there for a couple of hours to just take the car down to Chabong, where we had an appointment in a car shop in the city center. The road we were driving on is considered one of the main roads between Chabong and Hukunsi. It is just deep sand with lots of corrugation and very hard to drive. It was the first time for me driving this big truck through these conditions. It is challenging, but was also a lot of fun.
So, Dennis, how's your first experience of hard sand driving?
Great.
Yeah.
Feels like snow, but worse.
Yeah, it's not easy. Don't worry. Only another 40 kilometers to go.
Sounds great.
This is the main road. Main road, basically from that part of Botswana down to South Africa, because this goes down to the border.
But who had the idea to call this a main road? It's not a road.
Well, the other ones are called tracks.
Yeah.
Or walking.
Yeah. It is around 110 kilometers to drive, and it took us around 3 hours of hard driving. The car shop is quite different to what I, as a European, was used to, but I would consider this an adventure. They checked the oil levels of the car and did an oil change. We also took the chance and grabbed a few things from the supermarket. And after a couple of hours of waiting and test driving, we went back to Mabuasehube Gate and picked up the trailer for one more night at the private game reserve, where we arrived late in the evening. It says 47 degrees.
Oh, no, it's not.
That's fine. Cooking steaks, gin and tonic, with a view of the pan. Just hoping nobody hungry comes around. Before we headed north, we spent another lovely morning drive around the pan with a great lion encounter all by ourselves. We had around 30 minutes with the lion before he headed into the bush. The Southern Kalahari provided with amazing sightings, and I will be coming back at some point. Amazing sightings, amazing landscapes, and amazing skies. What more can you dream of? The next part will take us into the north of Botswana, into the Okavango Delta. Stay tuned for it.